I got 10 must-have Dua fragrances for winter, but really that's just a thumbnail and title. Really no fragrance is a must-have, but all these are really good. All right, the first one up here is inspired by Hypnotizing Fire by the Harmonist. And man, if you haven't smelled that fragrance, it's great. I love it. It's pretty unisex, works great in fall and winter. It's kind of like in the wheelhouse. It reminds me a lot of By the Fireplace by Mason Margiela, but I like this even better. And I like By the Fireplace a lot, so that just tells you how much I like this one. And this one's about 85% close, which is where I like to be. Dua calls theirs Dua's Blaze is Mesmerized. Spicy opening with cloves and pepper, nice praline and soft rose. And you don't really pick up a lot of rose, but it's in there. And then some smoky woods, a creamy vanilla, and a resinous benzoin dry down. Yeah, it's really nice, and it does have a smoky smell to it or whatever. Just like kind of like the By the Fireplace gives you kind of a smoky smell. Spicy, sweet, woody, smoky, light florals. Yeah. This one transitions sort of like the original. I have a decan of the original. Probably get the real thing one of these days. And I do have a generic version of the original too from Generic Perfumes. I think the generic version is a little better. It's about 90%. This is more like 85%, but this is still outstanding. And the real deal is a super fragrance. So if anything like this sparks your interest, at least get a decan of the original. And but this one here works really good. Okay, Shem by Nishane is in that prestige line with Nefs and Mana, and I love both those, so finally I had to try getting into Shem, and I won't be able to tell you how close to the original this is. I haven't smelled the original, but I do got a 8 ml, the real deal on the way, and I had a generic oil of it, and I didn't like the generic oil that much. It was okay. But I like this one better. As soon as I got this one, that's when I ordered the real deal. Because I hadn't heard good things about Shem, is why I hadn't tried it and kind of held off. But I love this. This is great. So I don't know how close this is to Shem, and I guess I could have waited to do the video, but it's on its way, and I'll find out soon. But either way, this is a great fragrance. I love this, and it made me want to order the real deal. And so it's leathery, spicy, floral, woody, earthy, very, very unique fragrance. I think it's great. It's Nefs is still my favorite, and I don't know, this may be better than Mana, and I really like Mana. So what a line they put out here. It's kind of an oriental green floral leathery spicy fragrance. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. In the opening you get like a cardamom, rose, and geranium. Then as it dries down you get like a smooth leather with green and spicy notes. It's ambery and earthy as it dries down. I mean real earthy as it dries down. Smoky, dark, green, oily, sort of villainous scent profile too. Ambery, leathery, and there's a nice rose, elemi, cardamom, and a geranium for spice. A lot of character to this. This is a great perfumery, and this Son of Noah is great. Like I said, I can't tell you how close, but I can tell you I love this. All right, Cologne of Whiskey Reserve is inspired by this Whiskey Reserve from Bath & Body Works, and I have both. I'm testing them right now. I tested them last night again. They're pretty identical. The only difference is this one performs better. It's louder, so you can either layer them or really you don't need this. This is the way to go. And this is a really nice fragrance. Bath & Body Works comes up with some bangers sometimes, and this is one of them. Just a simple 3 notes breakdown, and that's pretty much what you're getting. You're getting apple, whiskey, and oak, and those 3 things combined are really nice. This works great for fall or winter, and yeah, I love this one. This is a simple fragrance profile, but man, is it good. And the quality smells good on this, and even in the Bath & Body Works one, the quality seems pretty good. So yeah, this is a nice one. Next one is inspired by Soul Patchouli from Virtus. And man, what a great fragrance that is. And Virtus, the whole house so far, everything I've tried, I've at least thought was pretty good and worth owning. But I don't know, Soul Patchouli might be my favorite one I've tried so far. And I've got like a 10 milliliter decan. I've got generic versions pretty good. But this version here from Dua, what do they call it? Exclusive Patchouli is just fantastic. It's almost spot on and nuclear, and the original is nuclear as well. I get really good performance on it, but this one here, man, it's almost spot on, and the performance might even be better on this, and it even transitions the same. This is one that the Dua got really close to the the 95 to 98% mark. It's green, spicy, woody, earthy, sweet. Great fragrance. The original is not even that expensive, so I think this one's hard to get. This is on the in their vault, so I don't even know if you can get this. So it's just a really nice green patchouli note, smoothed out by the iris. It's got this marshmallow note in it to kind of give it some sweetness, and then it's got a pinch of animalic vibes from the civet, and it's just really great, well-rounded. Just really nice mix of sugary notes and patchouli, and yeah, it's sweet, but not too sweet. It's strong, but not too strong. Just perfectly blended, and Dua just knocked it out of the park on this version. I talked about Mana earlier. Well, Dua's version is called Meaning of Life, and it's really close to the original. It's in that 85 to 90% range, which is definitely close enough to me. And I do have a generic version of it too, and I probably like this Dua version a little bit better. The generic version is really close. It's probably about 85. This is pushing 90 maybe. And it's in that ombre nomad type of fragrance. It's really similar to ombre nomad. So it's a rose oud leathery kind of fragrance. This is real leathery. It's woody also, oriental, spicy, and there's definitely some animalic oud in it. So this is a little bit more leathery and oudy maybe than Ombre Nomad, just a hair. Did a side-by-side, and it's pretty close fragrance. So if you wanted a high-quality version of, instead of a clone of like Ombre Nomad, I mean, this is cheaper. Even the real version of Mana is definitely cheaper than Ombre Nomad, and it's I would put the quality is up there with Ombre Nomad, and it's a pretty similar scent profile. So if you wanted a Ombre Nomad on a budget, but you didn't want to go cheaper, I mean, even the real deal, this would be a pretty good option. But for me, the 10 milliliters I got, and this version of it here from Dua, and my generic version, those are good enough to me. Those will last me a long while. But yeah, Nishane just knocked out of the park with this one too. Love this fragrance. Not so original because it's kind of a typical fruity rose oud scent profile, and that has been done before, but still I love it. All right, if you're a myrrh lover like I am, the next one is a really great myrrh fragrance. It's inspired by Rock the Myrrh by Dries Van Noten, and I've never smelled the original, so I got no idea how close it is, but I will tell you I do love this one. But I'm a myrrh fragrance fan. So this is like a cozy suede with warm resins and a nice cypress and pink pepper note added in. Sort of like a sweet honey toffee and leather with the myrrh, mixed with the myrrh. It's resinous, sweet, spicy, leathery, a little bit of an oriental. So yeah, you get like I said, you get the cypress and pink pepper immediately, and there's some patchouli and a super nice myrrh note in here. And then as it dries down, you get the labdanum, benzoids, and suede. And yeah, real nice transition on this. And yeah, if you love myrrh, you probably want to check this one out. Yeah, I wouldn't mind smelling the original at some point, but for right now, love this one. The next one up is inspired by Oud for Greatness from Initio, and I really like Oud for Greatness, and I've got a bunch of clones of it or whatever, and they're all pretty accurate. And I have a decan of the real deal, and Dua's version is called Shadow Play, and it's probably in that 85% range I like to be at, and so that's pretty close. I'm pretty happy with that. It's woody, spicy, oriental, sweet, smoky. You're going to get, the main notes is saffron, nutmeg, oud, musk, patchouli, and lavender. There's some more notes in there, but those are the ones that come into play. And yeah, I love this fragrance. Great wintertime fragrance, and yeah, the whole house of Initio is very intriguing and nice to me, and Dua does a pretty good job on the whole house too. Most of the Initio fragrances I've tried from them, and I've tried most of them, are pretty accurate and pretty good. But just like always, there's a little bit of a difference, and it depends on where you're at. Like maybe that 15% means a lot to you, and sometimes depending on the fragrance, that means a lot to me. That extra 15%, and then sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. But yeah, great job on this one, Dua, and love the Initio Oud for Greatness, the scent profile. Great job on coming up with that DNA. All right, probably my favorite of the whole Initio line is Side Effect, and I really love the whole line, but I think that one's my favorite. And Dua did a good job on this one. They call it Collateral Damage. This is probably, again, in that 85% range. I got a decanted original. I got several other clones, and they're all good too. This one, the clones seem to do pretty good on this one. So it's sweet, spicy, oriental, gourmand, woody, rum, vanilla, cinnamon, some hedione notes, saffron, tobacco, and sandalwood. It's pretty unisex right down the middle, maybe leaning a little feminine, but to me it's pretty much right down the middle. Super nice boozy note in this one, and like I said, Dua did a real good job on his performance on the original, and this Dua is great. And to me, it's just a real cozy, alluring, and kind of like a intimate situation type fragrance. It'd be good for date nights to me, sort of like a sexy profile to me. So yeah, love this one. Dua did a good job on this one, and love the whole scent profile. Nishane just killed it on that one. All right, this one's inspired by Stronger With You tobacco, and I love everything from that Stronger With You line, and tobacco was a good release. Well, Dua's version is Stronger With Dua tobacco. It's maybe not quite 85% close. I do like the original better, but this is a real good job on it. Good performance on this one. Spicy, sweet, oriental, smoky, woody. You're going to get cardamom, sage, black pepper. Then you're going to get that nice chestnut accord with nice tobacco accord, some cinnamon, some pimento. And then the dry down of this is just really intoxicating. You start getting the bourbon vanilla, the amber, and the resins. And yeah, I love it. The real deal to me is probably worth getting if you can get a hold of that one at a decent price. But I have a decant of it or whatever. I haven't got a whole bottle. This has kind of held me off. If I start working through this more, you can see I haven't even used much of this. I got so many fragrances. But yeah, Stronger With You leather is a really nice flanker to the line, and Dua did a good job on this one. Not quite at that 85% place I like to be, but right close to that. Not far off that. All right, the last one up is inspired by Perle Oud from Cologne, and I haven't smelled the original, so I can't tell you how close it is, but Dua calls theirs Perle de Dua Aoud. So I will tell you, I do love this fragrance. It's good. It's a really nice fragrance. Like I said, I have no idea how close the original is. I didn't get a decant or anything. It's leathery, oriental, floral, animalistic from the oud, and a little bit woody. You're going to get black pepper, iris, and saffron off the top. Then you get some nice Turkish rose, jasmine, ylang-ylang. And then as it dries down, you're going to get the oud, castoreum, and patchouli. So it pretty dark dry down, but with the florals and some of the other notes in it, it's pretty well balanced, which pushes it more towards a unisex type fragrance. And really nice job. And this smells really expensive. And like I said, I don't know how close it is to the original, but what I do know is I really like this fragrance. There you go, 10 Dua fragrances to have you smelling great this winter. So if you made it this far, like, subscribe, and comment. That helps the algorithm. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch.